Now, in order to create the graph, I'm on step 9, we need to highlight all the gray cells, including the data, the years, and the column headings. Typically, when you want to create a graph, it helps to include the headings. I don't want to include this information, but including the header of each column helps Google Sheet to label the graph axes correctly. So let's see how it does that. And I'm holding down the shift and arrowing down. You can also just use your mouse to select all of this. And now that I've selected all of the gray cells, I just go to Insert Chart. So Insert Chart. And notice that it did label total correctional population. It shows a 2 million scale. We peaked in the 7 millions, so it's got 8 million up here, which is higher than we ever reached, and it's labeling the years consistently scaled by tens. So that's a pretty nice graph. I'm never super fond of the titles that Google Sheets generates, so we could just say U.S. correctional population, and then we could say 1980 to 2020 in parentheses. That seems to me like a better title for our graph. And notice that my chart editor is open over here. So there are changes that you can make. But my next instruction is simply to move the chart into the space provided and then resize it. So I'm going to X out of this chart editor, click on this once, and then if you click in the white space, you can move it. So I'll move it into this little box here, and I need to shrink this a bit because it's spilling beyond where I want it. So I want it to fit in this box, and then I can hover there. And so these are the dots that will move it up and down, left and right. You can resize it with the diagonal as well. So now we've got it resized, and we can move into answering questions about the presentation of the data. So question 13 says, does the graph make sense to you? Does it present the same information you described in question 4 above? So when you were talking about what you could see happening, there we see the correctional population rising steadily, peaking. Looks like it's peaking around 2007, which is what we said, and then now it's been declining slowly, and actually it looks like a fairly sharp decline right towards the end of the graph. So the information presented here in numbers is then also presented in the graph. It's the same information in a different way. And which do you prefer? There's no correct answer for this. This is a great way to take in the information at a glance. Some people prefer to have the specific numbers in a table of data. So this is more detailed and harder to take in at a glance, and this is more of a quick overview, the picture that communicates a lot without overwhelming you with numbers.